The history of our story began long ago. Around 3 billion years ago, life on Earth started as tiny atoms floating in the vast oceans, forming the building blocks of everything we know today. These atoms combined over time to create simple cells, which evolved into more complex organisms. This process, known as abiogenesis, set the stage for all life. Fast forward to about 6 million years ago, and we see the emergence of the first hominids, a family of primates that walked upright and began using basic tools. These early ancestors, like Sahelanthropus chidensis, lived in Africa and adapted to changing environments, such as forests turning into grasslands. They had smaller brains than modern humans but showed early signs of social behavior, like living in groups for protection against predators. By 1.9 million years ago, Homo erectus appeared, the first human species to leave Africa and spread to Asia and Europe. They had larger brains, about 850 to 100 cubic centimeters, allowing them to make better tools, like hand axes from stone, and control fire for cooking and warmth. This fire use was a game changer. It made food easier to digest, providing more energy for brain growth, and helped them survive in colder climates. Homo erectus hunted in groups, shared food, and even cared for the elderly, showing early compassion. Their migration out of Africa, often called the Out of Africa model, marked the beginning of human exploration across continents. Around 400,000 years ago, Neanderthals evolved in Europe and Western Asia. Adapted to cold Ice Age conditions, they had stocky bodies, strong muscles, and large noses to warm cold air. Their brains were as large as ours, up to 1,600 cubic centimeters, and they created art, like cave paintings, and buried their dead with flowers, suggesting beliefs in an afterlife. Neanderthals hunted big game like mammoths using spears and lived in caves or simple shelters. They interbred with early Homo sapiens, and today, many people outside Africa carry 1–2% Neanderthal DNA, which influences traits like immune systems and skin color. Then came Homo sapiens, us, the only surviving species of the Homo genus. Emerging in Africa around 300,000 years ago, we had slender builds, high foreheads, and brains averaging 1,350 cubic centimeters. Our success came from advanced language, complex tools, and social cooperation. We created art, like the 40,000-year-old cave paintings in Indonesia, and developed symbolic thinking such as jewelry from shells. But how did we rise to global dominance? Through civilization, organized societies with farming, cities, and governments. We begin our story in the fertile lands of Mesopotamia in 4000 BCE, nestled between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, in the Sumerian city of Uruk. This region, often called the cradle of civilization, had rich soil from river floods, perfect for growing crops. Instead of hunting and gathering like our ancestors, Uruk's people developed agriculture. They planted cereal grains like wheat and barley in irrigated fields, using canals to control water. To process grains, they invented the hand mill, 2 flat stones rubbed together to grind flour. This flour was baked into bread or brewed into beer, a staple drink that was safer than water and provided calories. Agriculture allowed surplus food, freeing people from constant foraging. Uruk grew to over 50,000 residents, with mud brick houses, temples, and markets. But it changed humans. Average heights dropped. Men from 5'9" to 5'3", women from 5'3" to 5", due to poorer diets focused on grains, leading to deficiencies in proteins and vitamins. Diseases spread in crowded cities and people became tied to land, losing the nomadic freedom of hunter-gatherers. Yet this shift enabled specialization. Some farmed, others crafted pottery or wove cloth, sparking innovation. In the early 3000s BCE, legend tells of King Gilgamesh ruling Uruk. The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest stories, describes him as 2/3 god, 1/3 man, building city walls and seeking immortality after his friend Enkidu's death. He journeyed to find eternal life but learned mortality as human fate. By late 3000 BCE, the Akkadians, led by Sargon the Great, conquered Sumeria. Sargon, born humble, built the first empire, uniting cities under one rule through military might and trade, stretching from the Persian Gulf to the Mediterranean. while in the Indus Valley in modern-day Pakistan, a new civilization was growing from 3300 to 1300 BCE. Spanning over 1 million square kilometers, it included cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, with populations up to 40,000. They were most notable for highly advanced toilet systems. Homes had brick toilets with seats and chutes leading to underground drains made of baked clay pipes. Sewage flowed to cesspits or rivers, preventing disease and keeping streets clean. Cities had grid layouts, public baths like the Great Bath at Mohenjo-Daro, possibly for ritual cleansing, and standardized weights for trade. They traded cotton, beads, and metals with Mesopotamia. Waste was treated and dumped outside cities, promoting hygiene in a hot climate. The Indus people scripted in undeciphered symbols on seals, farmed wheat and rice using monsoons, and crafted jewelry from gold and semi-precious stones. Their peaceful society showed no signs of warfare, focusing on urban planning and equality. Houses were similar in size. In Egypt, people were more focused on building pyramids than plumbing. Ancient Egyptian religion taught that pharaohs' spirits lived eternally in the afterlife, ruling and worshipped forever. Pyramids were eternal homes, filled with treasures like gold jewelry, food, and boats for the journey. The body was mummified, organs removed, wrapped in linen, to preserve it for the Ka, spirit. Every pharaoh prioritized their pyramid to ensure immortality. It started with Pharaoh Djoser, 2667-2648 BCE, who built the Step Pyramid at Saqqara, a six-tiered structure designed by architect Imhotep, the first known pyramid. Sneferu, 2613-2589 BCE, built the Bent Pyramid, which changed angle midway due to instability, and the Red Pyramid, the first true smooth-sided pyramid. Pharaoh Khufu, 2589-2566 BCE, created the Great Pyramid of Giza, using 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing 2 to 15 tons, in a 20-year labor of thousands of workers. Not slaves, but paid laborers with villages and beer rations. It's aligned with stars and was originally covered in white limestone. Khafre and Menkaure built the second and third Giza pyramids, with the Sphinx nearby, symbolizing pharaoh power. Over in China, in 2100 BCE, the first dynasty, Xia, emerged. Like Mesopotamians, the Chinese relied on agriculture, growing rice in the south, wheat and barley in the north, using bronze tools and irrigation. But the Yellow River, called China's Sorrow, flooded unpredictably, destroying crops and causing famine that killed thousands. Legend says Yu the Great, a engineer hero, traveled the river building levees, dikes, and canals for 13 years, even ignoring his family. His success saved lives, and people hailed him as savior, making him Xia's founder. Though historians debate the Xia's existence, no direct writings but archaeological sites like Erlitou show early cities, it set a precedent: power based on merit, not birth. Good leaders earn heaven's favor, bad ones lose it. Back in Mesopotamia around 1772 BCE, Babylonian king Hammurabi created the basis of modern law. He ordered a 7-foot-tall, 2-foot-wide basalt slab, inscribed with 282 laws in cuneiform, displayed publicly. Laws covered crime, trade, family. Law 1, false murder accusation meant death for the accuser. Law 196, eye for an eye. Law 197, bone for a bone. Law 199, injuring a slave meant paying half their value. This Code of Hammurabi established justice, but ranked people by class. Nobles' lives worth more than commoners, commoners more than slaves. No equality, but it influenced later laws like the Bible's. Hammurabi's Babylon became a cultural hub with hanging gardens, one of 7 wonders, and ziggurats for gods. In modern-day Turkey, the Hittite Empire rose under charismatic King Labarnus, 1680-1650 BCE. With a vision to unite city-states, he led armies city by city, conquering some, allying others through shrewd diplomacy. He won hearts with fair rule, expanding territory and prosperity, positioning Hittites next to Egypt. They invented iron weapons, giving military edge, and had laws similar to Hammurabi's but with more mercy. like fines instead of death for some crimes. In Greece, Mycenaean civilization, 1600 to 1100 BCE, featured elite warriors in palace-centered city-states like Troy, Mycenae, and Pylos. Rigid hierarchies, kings at top, then nobles, artisans, farmers. Independent, not unified, each state had its army and economy based on bronze trade. Linear B script recorded inventories, the earliest Indo-European Greek. The Trojan War legend, from Homer's Iliad, may stem from real conflicts over trade routes. In Egypt, the social pyramid mirrored Giza's, broad base of peasants, slaves farming, Nile floods growing wheat papyrus, and building projects off-season. Artisans, masons, sculptors created tombs' vibrant paintings of daily life and gods. Merchants sailed the Nile, trading gold, linen for timber, spices. Scribes, educated in hieroglyph schools, recorded taxes, pharaoh decrees. Soldiers defended borders, well-fed with bread and beer. Bureaucrats like viziers managed logistics, priests cared for gods in temples, nobles governed regions. All served the pharaoh, god-king mediating heaven and earth. When he died, pyramid burial ensured eternal rule, taxes, crafts, goods, all for pharaoh. Ramesses II built Abu Simbel, rock-carved temples with his giant statues, Ramesseum, Karnak expansions, reconquered lands lost to Hittites. Hittite king Muwatalli II, 1295–1272 BCE, attacked Egypt, aiming for world unity like Libarnus. Ramesses II retaliated at Kadesh with 20,000 men in chariots. Hittites, informed by spies, fortified with 40,000. Ramesses split forces, a mistake exposing them. Battle drew, but peace followed. After Muwatalli's death, Hattusili III signed 1258 BCE treaty. No attacks, mutual aid. Hittites shared iron tech. Egyptians agriculture. Prosperity ensued until sea peoples, mysterious invaders, perhaps from Aegean, destroyed Hittites around 1200 BCE. Far away in Mexico, Olmecs 1200–400 BCE, mother culture of Mesoamerica, built stone heads up to 3 meters tall weighing 50 tons, carved from basalt hauled 90 kilometer. Likely portraits of rulers emphasizing head as seat of soul, emotions. Undeciphered hieroglyphs on jade figurines suggest complex society with rubber balls for games, chocolate drinks. In China, Zhou Dynasty, 1046–256 BCE, overthrew Shang for losing mandate of heaven. 4 principles. Heaven grants rule to virtuous. 1 heaven, 1 emperor. Virtue determines right. No permanent dynasty. Signs like disasters signaled loss. Zhou feudalism. Peasants farmed tied lands. Soldiers protected. Lords taxed peasants paid king. Wealth flowed up. Farming needed many people. Philosophies helped endure. Confucius, 551–479 BCE, taught Confucianism. Respect, loyalty and relationships. Li, rituals for harmony. Laozi's Taoism, follow Tao, path, live peacefully, balance yin-yang, opposites like light, dark. These made farming life meaningful. Greek city-states grew by 800 BCE, colonizing for grain as land was infertile. Miletus had 90 colonies from Marseille to Rostov-on-Don. Rome's legend, twins Romulus, Remus, nursed by wolf, founded Rome 753 BCE. Romulus killed Remus. Persia's Cyrus the Great rebelled against grandfather Astyages. Dream prophesied overthrow. Conquered Babylon. Indus. Tolerant. Freed Jews from exile. Darius I expanded but failed Greece. Sparta. Military society killed weak babies, trained boys from 7 as soldiers. Classes, aristocrats, free non-citizens, military duty. Helots, slaves. Harsh life for war readiness. Athens, democracy with council of 500, random selection via Claritarian machine, and assembly, all male citizens voted. Chaos managed by daily presidents. Plato criticized in Republic, commoners unfit. Need philosopher kings, wise rulers. In India, Siddhartha Gautama, 500 BCE, left palace luxury after seeing suffering, achieved enlightenment under fig tree as Buddha. Taught 4 noble truths. Suffering exists from desire, and desire for peace. Darius invaded Greece at Marathon, 490 BCE. Athenians won with 10,000 versus 20,000, Pheidippides ran 26.2 miles to announce victory, origin of marathon. Xerxes invaded 480 BCE. Leonidas 7,000 held Thermopylae but betrayed. Greeks won Salamis, naval trap, and Plataea, 110,000 Greeks versus 150,000 Persians. Golden Age Athens. Parthenon on Acropolis. Plays at Dionysia by Sophocles, Oedipus, Aeschylus, Oresteia. Alliances. Athens Delian versus Sparta's Peloponnesian. War 431 BCE. Athens lost Sicily expedition. Alcibiades defected. Fell 404 BCE. Joe ended in warring states. 475 to 221 BCE. Hanfasi's legalism. People selfish need strong ruler with rewards and punishments. In Mexico, Zapotecs built Monte Alban on mountaintop. Hierarchical society with innovative farming, writing glyphs, charts of 365-day calendars. Alexander the Great, tutored by Aristotle, father of logic, scientific method, conquered at 20, razed Thebes, defeated Darius at Issus, 333 BCE, Gaugamela, 331 BCE, took Babylon Persepolis. Reached India, troops mutinied. Died 32, empire split. India's Mauryan Empire under Ashoka, 261 BCE, conquered Kalinga, 100,000 dead. Converted to Buddhism, promoted non-violence via edicts. Rome defeated Carthage in Punic Wars. Hannibal's elephants at Cannae, 216 BCE, but Scipio won Zama, 202 BCE. China's Qin, 221-206 BCE. Shi Huangdi unified, divided into commands, harsh legalism. And 206 BCE 220 CE followed Confucianism, opened Silk Road for silk trade. Rome conquered Greece 86 BCE, Sulla sacked Athens, Jerusalem 63 BCE. Caesar conquered Gaul, besieged Alesia 52 BCE, crossed Rubicon, defeated Pompey. Dictator reforms like Julian Calendar, assassinated 44 BCE. Octavian Augustus defeated Antony at Actium, 31 BCE, became emperor. Jesus born Bethlehem during census. Teachings in Gospels, crucified under Pilate, Paul spread Christianity. Nero blamed Christians for 64 CE fire. American civilizations, Moche pyramids, Nazca lines, mysterious geoglyphs for water rituals. Our Zapotec Monte Alban urban planning. Rome under Trajan, 98-117 CE. Peaked from Britain to Persian Gulf. Hadrian built wall, 122 CE, against Brits. Bar Kokhba. Revolt 132-135 CE crushed. Judea desolated. China. Buddhism spread with Confucianism, Taoism in Han Mayans. Stucco masks on temples like Izebensub to honor gods. Sasanian Empire, 224 CE. Ardashir defeated Parthians. Centralized revived Zoroastrianism. Han fell 220 CE to warlords. Wei dynasty rose. Rome's Diocletian Tetrarchy, 284 CE, split empire chaos. Constantine won Milvian Bridge, 312 CE. Edict of Milan, 313 CE, tolerated Christianity. Council of Nicaea, 325 CE. Creed Huns invaded 370 CE. Pushed Goths. Visigoths sacked Rome, 410 CE. Attila, Scourge of God, defeated at Catalonian Plains, 451 CE. Met Pope Leo, died 453 CE. Western Rome fell 476 CE to Odoacer. Then Theodoric's Ostrogoths 493 CE. India's Gupta Golden Age. Brahmagupta 0. Aryabhata Earth circumference, round Earth. Pi Franks Clovis converted at Tolbiac 496 CE. Founding Kingdom Byzantine under Justinian, 527 CE. Reconquered. Codified laws built Hagia Sophia. Muhammad founded Islam 610 CE. Migrated to Medina 622 CE. Hijra. Trench battle victory. Conquered Mecca 630 CE. Caliphs expanded to Syria, Persia, Egypt, Spain by 716 CE. Martel stopped at Tours 732 CE. Tang China 618 CE. Religious tolerance. Poetry by Li Po Charlemagne 768 CE. Conquered Europe. Crowned Holy Roman Emperor 800 CE. House of Wisdom in Baghdad under Harun al-Rashid 786 CE. Advanced algebra. Chemistry. Vikings raided Lindisfarne 793 CE. Charlemagne restored Pope Leo 799 CE. Vikings raided Rhine. Feudalism rose as locals protected serfs. Arabs conquered Crete 827 CE. Sicily, Sardinia, Treaty of Verdun 843 CE split. Carolingian Empire, Alfred the Great, 871 CE. Built Burhs against Vikings. Rurik founded Kievan Rus', 862. C. Athelstan, first English king, 924 CE. Otto I defeated Magyars, 955 CE. Holy Roman Emperor, 962 CE. Hugh Capet started French Capetians, 987 CE. Feudal pyramid, serfs farm. Knights protect, nobles rule lands, kings grant lands. Pope at top with divine right. Leif Erikson discovered Vinland, America. 1000 CE. Mayans built Tikal, population millions. North American tribes like Cherokee, Navajo. Inuits El Hakim destroyed Holy Sepulchre 1009 CE. Seljuks took Baghdad 1055 CE. Mecca, Medina, Pope Urban II called First Crusade 1095 CE. Captured Jerusalem 1099 CE. Second Crusade failed 1149 CE. Khmer's Angkor Wat, 1150 CE, for Vishnu. Massive bas-reliefs. Saladin retook Jerusalem at Hattin 1187 CE. Third Crusade, Richard, Philip, Frederick failed. Genghis Khan united Mongols 1206 CE. Conquered Shisha, Jin, Khwarezm. Descendants 8% Asian men. Magna Carta, 1215 CE. Limited king. Habeas corpus. Fifth Crusade failed 1221 CE. Genghis died 1227 CE. Empire from Japan Sea to Caspian. 6th, 8th Crusades failed. Edward III summoned Parliament, 1295 CE. Mansa Musa, Hajj, 1324. CE crashed economies with gold. Built Sancor University. Aztecs founded Tenochtitlan, 1325 CE. Temples. Chinampas Gardens. 100 Years' War. 1337-1453 CE. Over French throne. Black Death 1347 killed 75-200 million. Boosted worker rights. Red Turbans founded Ming 1368 CE. Joan of Arc. Lifted Orleans siege 1429 CE. Burned 1431 CE. French won Castillon 1453. Sourced Ottomans took Constantinople 1453. Sarfan III freed Russia from Mongols. 1480 Columbus reached Americas. 1492 CE. Met Lucayans da Vinci Mona Lisa Flamens 103 CE. Michelangelo David 1504 CE. Sistine Omicians Gautumicians Dower. C. Machiavelli, The Prince. 1513 CE on Fear versus Love. Luther 95. Theses 1517 CE started. Reformation. Cortes conquered Aztecs 1521 CE. Pizarro Incas 1533 CE. Diseases killed millions. Suleiman Ottoman conquest to 1566. CE Henry VIII, Church of England. 1534 CE Ivan the Terrible purges. 1547-1584 CE Elizabethan Renaissance. Shakespeare plays like Julius Caesar. Jamestown. 1607 CE Quebec 1608. Say 30 Years' War. 1618 to 1648. CE ended religious wars. Qing overthrew. Ming 1644 CE War of Spanish Succession. 1701-1714 CE 8 Acts of Union. 1707. CE created Great Britain American Independence. 1776 CE. Yorktown 1781. CE Victory, Smith. Wealth of Nations. 1776 CE. Mozart Hafner. Serenade Electoral College for U.S. Presidents. French Revolution 1789 CE stormed Bastille. Guillotined Louis XVI, Marie Antoinette. Robespierre Reign of Terror. Executed 1794 CE. Napoleon conquered Europe. Austerlitz 1805 CE. Russia disaster 1812 CE. Waterloo 1815. C. Bolivar freed Latin America by 1825. C. Marx Communist Manifesto 1848. CE Scramble for Africa 1870s 1914. CE Colonized Continent. WI 1914 1918. CE after Franz Ferdinand assassination. Pew 1939-1945 CE. Hitler defeated. Atomic bombs on Japan. Turing computers. Cold War. Moon landing 1969 CE. Gilgamesh's lesson. Life ends but civilizations evolve.